This is the story of Marion Kibiyego. At a tender age of 4 months, Marion was physically abused and disowned by her own father. She was shoved off a cliff and left for dead. Marion is blind. But Marion refused to die. She leaves her mark everywhere she is, and she does not have to live in the shadows of life anymore.
Marion nilizae 2006. Alifika mwezi 4. Nikaona kama nikikunywa chai afuate hata kikombe ya chai, nikampeleka hospitali Iten. Wakaniambia sasa hapo sasa huyo mtoto wangu vile ulikuwa na saa kwa akiona kabisa. Alafu sasa wakaniambia hata kama haoni kuna shule hapa.
At the moment, our community, they still have a lot of problems in terms of accepting learners with visual impairment. They are rejected and neglected in the community. This has created a lot of conflict among family members. While other children go to school, these children remain back at home and just do nothing. So it is still a challenge, and we are working harder to ensure that our community perceive children with disability positively like any other.
Kilimanjaro Blind Trust, or KBT, was founded in 2005 by 26 climbers went to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and they were led by Paul Polmans, the current CEO, Unilever. Around 6 of them were blind. The moment they reached the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, they've asked themselves, what do we do to celebrate our success? So they climbed down to a school called Logido in Tanzania with the aim to construct dormitories. However, they found all the brailers were broken down, and they thought of initiating a braille repair process. And that's how KBT initiative was started. KBT has partnered with the African Braille Center in Kenya.
When KBT came on board about 5 years ago, they actually assisted us to be able to train staff in the field. They were able to provide us with the spare parts. There were no structured support system to ensure that these brailers were repaired and in place, and constructed for us a spare depot. We know there is a very big gap between the number of blind children and the brailers that are in school. So over the years, we have actually been working with support of other donors.
We've also provided braille machines to the tunes of over 300 so far. One of the impact that we are looking into as a result of this, increased performance for these blind children, because they will no longer have to share.
My first experience with braille was that of denial. I didn't want even to touch braille. But it dawned upon me that I had no choice. But I had to use braille as a skill that could help me communicate with other blind people. So it took me time, but eventually I learned how to type and also learned how to read. It's very important to have a braille machine for a school-going child. And that's why the Kilimanjaro Blind Trust is very keen to support blind children in East Africa access braille machines so that they can be able to advance in their education. What is required is one to have the equipment to advance his brains to getting the best out of the best.
Life started very smartly when I was young, and I had a lot of visions to become someone in the society. But all of a sudden, there came blindness, and I started again, starting with the A, B, C, D. In braille. It was difficult for the first time because when I touched those things, they were just like millet, very small things. I could not even understand if I could have something to read. It took me 2 months to learn it properly, to read and write. And after that, I made sure that I was employed. That is where I am now as a teacher.
Many of the children with visual impairment travel for quite a long distance. And the case in point is Marion Kibiyego, who travels for over 70 kilometers to access a braille machine. If each and every blind child has a braille machine within his own community, that child will be traveling less than 2 kilometers or even 1 kilometer to reach school.
Ratio between a braille machine to child is 1 to 3. We want to bring it down now to the recommended ratio where every child is using 1 braille machine.
Mwaka 3 sahi, hata anajua kuexplain kitu, ukiambia sasa explain hata jina yangu anajua. Anafanya kila kitu kama watoto wengine. Hata siku nyingine nikastukia tu kama amebeba maji ameweka kwa moto. Akasema uniangalie maji, nataka niende nioshe vyombo. Mimi nafurahia yeye kabisa.
So we are calling upon key stakeholders and our supporters to join us in this initiative. We work towards providing quality education to blind children in Kenya.